Hey guys, Aaron here. Welcome back to the channel, Help Me DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to get my 1997 Lotus Elise S1 up on a two-post lift. This is my brand new, to me, 1997 Lotus Elise Series 1. And I'm going to try to get it on a two-post lift for the first time. I found very little information and no videos out there on how to do it. So I'm going to learn along with you guys. Now I do have the owner's manual, so we are gonna start with that, and it provides us a few jacking points labeled A, B, C, and D. So A is the ones in the middle, and they should be labeled underneath. And with those, you can use a normal hand jack to lift it, and it should lift both wheels off the side, so it's kind of in the center point. So I'm going to come under the left side of the car, which on my car is the passenger side. Yes, I have a right-hand drive. And right under here, we can see this blue sticker that used to have a picture of a jack on it. It's kind of jacked up, no pun intended there. And this is where we can lift it. So just to give you a little view of under the car. Yes, it is super flat. And the reason that we need to do this is because the rear jacking points for a two-post lift are under this panel. So we're gonna have to take this panel off. So I have this trusty little hand jack here, and I just put a rubber block on it. I got one of these on Amazon. I also have a quick jack that has some similar ones, just so that it does not scratch up anything under there. And I'm just gonna slide it under to where that sticker is and jack it up. All right, so as you can see, both tires are completely off the ground. So if you were just on the side of the road and wanted to do a quick tire change, you could do that right there for either side. Now, originally for me, I thought I would need to do this to get access to that plate below to be able to remove it. But after looking underneath, I think with the car just flat on the ground, I can still access that panel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lower this. I just wanted to show you how to jack it up off of point A. All right, now let's look at the points marked B on here. They are in the front of the car, and the description is they're beneath the front end of the right or left hand main chassis rail, behind the front wheel arch. And this is where it tells you to use a garage 4-point lift. All right, this is the front of the car. So let's go underneath. And here is that same rail that we had the sticker on back further down. So if we follow it up to the front, where it ends right here, kind of where that hole is drilled, should be spot A. This one is not labeled, but that's where we're going to put the weight of the front jack. So let me see how this reaches. Let me slide this out here for the first time. Pull it out. All right, so we can fit under our little mud guard. And yeah, we have room to go right here. So if I do start lifting from this position, I can see that my rail would hit the little mud guard here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple blocks on here. Actually, I have a little riser that I'll probably use. Let me try that out. All right, I'm using the forward lift, and it came with these. So if I drop one of those in instead, then I can have access to slide right under there. Perfect clearance for me. And then I can move this over, extend it back out, and have it aligned with point A right there. So that would be metal to metal contact. I know that I've heard of some people spray this with like Plasti Dip or whatever to prevent scratching or whatnot, but I mean, I don't care. That's under the car. It's gonna touch the frame. It's not like it's gonna be rubbing a lot. So yeah, if you wanted to stick a little block of rubber, you might have clearance. Actually, I guess I'll give it a try. Yeah, my rubber block here does not quite fit, but if you got like a 1/2-inch one maybe, I guess you could get it under there. Or again, you could just use your normal pad and stack some rubber blocks on top. All right, I should note here a little trick that I use for all of my cars when getting them on a two-post lift. I bought some of these, they're made to protect cords for high traffic areas, but I have these double-sided taped down in my garage so that when I pull the car in, I park it on them, which lifts it up just enough to get these under it. If I did not have them, I wouldn't have the clearance to get under there. And as a side benefit, it makes it easy to remember how far forward to pull the car in. All right, now we're gonna do the fun ones, which is marked as C. So it does warn you if the diffuser panel is on the car, do not use these because you will crush your diffuser panel. You have to remove them. Now, side note, they do sell an aftermarket option. I think essentially that's something that fits between that panel and the lift point so that it won't crush it. And that will allow you to use the two-post lift without removing that panel. And I'm gonna order that, but I do not have it right now. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this diffuser panel. To remove this, I am counting 11 of these little 8mm screws around the perimeter. They all look like they're pretty easy to get to, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start removing them. They all have a washer, and they look like this. And then down here in the middle, one on each side, are two T30s that we have to remove. And this is what they look like. They have a washer as well. And after we go over and remove the one on the other side, it looks like this plate is just tucked under the front plate. Also just want to note that the very rear diffuser panel does not need to come off because the one forward of it that we're removing is on top of this rear one. All right, so after this one comes out, this whole plate should come down. Ta-da. I think I can get away with just leaving the plate down there while I lift the car. We'll see. All right, now for point C. I am reshooting this video because I originally posted it and I showed that as lifting point C, and people quickly corrected me saying that is not where it was. So we're gonna find where it really is. It's one of the huge benefits of making videos for myself is that I get to learn. So that is originally where I lifted from, and it actually worked. It didn't damage anything, but that is not the correct position. The correct position is at the edge of this thing. They had a specific name for this. I forget what it was. I think the manual just calls it the perforated undershield. But if you stick your finger back here, you can feel that there is a cross member that is running right up here. And I'll show you why that there is a little lip back here, why you wouldn't want to lift here on that other panel, because there is a little bit of a gap and it would crush it. So when lifting here, they say to, of course, be careful with these bolts and lift somewhere not on the bolts. All right, you'll see a much better angle of this after I lift it to see where I'm lifting from. But for mine, one of the large rubber quick jack blocks is the perfect size to slip right in there. Oh boy, here goes nothing. Always a little nervous lifting a new car up for the first time, but let's see what happens. Oh, there we have it. Sweet success. All right, perfect. With the car off the ground You can now see this kind of big I-beam that runs all the way across here and is covered up by this little perforated shield. So as long as you are avoiding the bolts that are down here, you can lift anywhere along this really. But ideally, I think the actual C lift point is right there and right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think I have it correct this time. Comfortably clear up here, so no contact over there. We just avoided our mud guard here on point B up front. So first glance underneath my baby. I haven't been able to get down here yet, so kind of exciting. So we'll explore around, and just for completeness in this video, I am going to remove this very rear diffuser and try to pinpoint lift points D that they have on there. Real quick, before I show you that, I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy. Game of Life 411 is the name of his YouTube channel. This is Game of Life 411's YouTube channel. He has some beautiful cars. Go ahead and check him out if you're interested in the newer S2 Elises or this fantastic Alfa Romeo 4C he's got here. All right, with that rear diffuser off, you can see right here, this is the hole that the rear diffuser was screwed into, and I can only assume that that is jack point D. So it makes sense that with the panel still on, you could lift from this spot right where that bolt is. However, you cannot, well, I don't know, if you had super long arms, maybe you could reach all the way back here. I don't know, my arm might extend out that far. It's something for me to try next time, but anyway, those are all of the jack points, and we got this up in the air. Now, of course, the engine is right here, which is just behind this rear jack point. So there's still a ton of weight at the back of the car. But obviously this is where Lotus says to lift it from. So if I were to be doing a lot of work and tugging down here, I would probably use one of those and brace it right here, just to be extra sure that nothing's gonna lean over backwards, but that's it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't. We really appreciate those likes, and it helps the channel. And of course, subscribe if you're not already. Lots more cool Lotus content to come.